Welcome everybody to the X Factor podcast. Today we got a lovely video for you. We had a good weekend. Starting the episode, I'm going to be starting off with we lost 3 good people over the weekend, or over the last week. That's why I haven't posted on the podcast the last couple of days. Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon, we lost the legendary Terry Funk, who was one of the greatest, or in some people's eyes, the greatest of all time. He shockingly passed away at 79. And Thursday afternoon, one of the most shocking deaths I have ever had to experience as a wrestling fan. Bray Wyatt has passed away. As the people that don't know, Bray Wyatt is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. Him, CM Punk, Jericho are always going to be up there as some of my top favorites of all time. So when I heard that, I didn't really want to believe it, if I'm being honest with you. I honestly did not want to believe any of it. It didn't really hit me until after the tribute on Friday that we officially lost him. Because it didn't feel right. That entire Thursday night, Friday, didn't even feel right. And right now, it still don't feel right. But sadly, it's the truth. And we're all going to go on and live our lives. And condolences to the Wyatt Wyndham Rotunda family. And we're going to go on thinking that Bray was one of the most creative guys in wrestling. One of the most creative guys in wrestling of all time. Good husband, good father, I'm assuming. I didn't know him personally, but based off the stories I've been hearing from everyone else, he sounds like a really, really nice person. So, regardless of what you think of him from his last run in WWE, to the Fiend character, to the Wyatt, to him and Matt Hardy being a tag team, to whatever you think about him, he's still one of the greatest and a legend in my eyes. So we're gonna go on this episode because we got to talk about AEW's All In pay-per-view that we got on Sunday. And in my opinion, it was probably the best pay-per-view this year. Because almost every match on the card, I could put down as one of my favorites this year. So, we're just going to get right into it. MJF, Adam Cole versus Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Going into this, I had Aussie Open winning. I didn't think Adam Cole or MJF were going to win at all. So, thinking about it, the match I thought was pretty decent. Adam Cole and MJF, their little kangaroo kicks. And when an Aussie Open, they're one of the best, tag teams around, in my opinion. Mark Davis, Kyle Fletcher, they're easily they're really good, talented wrestlers. Adam Cole and MJF won off the double clothesline. My main thing is I don't think Aussie Open should have lost. I don't think there is any reason for them to lose unless they got something else going on. Unless they're gonna have the Kingdom beat them, but yeah, I don't understand the point of Aussie Open losing, because Aussie Open was doing really good. They just won the titles about a month or two ago, so I didn't see any point of them losing them. So, although overall though, I thought it was a pretty decent match. Then we get into Hook and Jack Perry, which I will be getting more into Jack Perry drama later on when I talk about CM Punk. that match started with Hook, of course, going to the ring, and then Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, coming out with a car and flipping off the camera when he got there. And it started with them two going at it on the car. There was a point in the match where Jungle Boy goes, "It's real glass, go cry me a river," which at that point I was kind of confused with what he was shooting at, and then I realized what happened later on, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. And then they get in the ring, you know, they're hook suplexes are always beautiful. Hook, when it comes to doing suplexes, it's probably one of the smoothest ones in wrestling right now, in my eyes. Hook made Jungle Boy tap out. He is the new FTW champion. The match I thought was really good to end off the zero hour show. So now we get into the main show. Samoa Joe for CM Punk. Samoa Joe comes out with the black and yellow gear, which I think is awesome. I love that gear so much. And hearing Samoa Joe's theme in Wembley with the fans going Joe, 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 that just felt different, man. That felt something special. CM Punk came out, and then of course you got the mixed boos and cheers. You got the people singing Cult of Personality. CM Punk's gear, I've been playing a lot of Fight Forever as of late. They need to put that shit in Fight Forever, because that stuff would be amazing. But that's my opinion. But overall in the match, when they started out slowly with chops, and then they went out into the ring and Samoa Joe doing some dances, hyping up the crowd a little bit. CM Punk went to go for it looked like he was trying to go for a Hurricane Rana, and then Samoa Joe caught him and threw him right under the announcing table, and then the announcing table, the bottom piece, shattered. That was something. That was something that we got out of it. And the match was really, really good. In the first match they had at Collision, I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was one of the best match, but this one right here, it proved they could still both go. And it ended with some CM Punk hitting Samoa Joe with a Pepsi Plunge. And if you don't know what the Pepsi Plunge is, it's CM Punk's Ring of Honor finisher. Long time ago, WWE made him change it when he went to WWE. But the Pepsi Plunge, he hit it, boom, 1, 2, 3, CM Punk wins. The match, I thought, was awesome. As of we get into the backstage issue, we're going to talk about that now. Apparently, so we're going to start from the start here. So a couple weeks ago, Jungle Boy Jack Perry said wanted to use real glass for a spot on Collision, and CM Punk and Tony Schiavone and medical staff told him no. And it was reported that Jungle Boy had a fit about it. Whatever, cool. You're not, when you got a guy like Jungle Boy who doesn't like listening to veterans and all that, of course he's gonna cry about it. So during the match they had a little segment, or the Go Cry Me River thing was Jungle Boy. And Jungle Boy, of course, like we've all heard in the past, he's had issues and all that. And according to when they went backstage, words were said, and apparently Punk's side of things is Jungle Boy approached him bumped him, and CM Punk went after him. And then the other people's side is that they had a little bit of a talk. CM Punk punched him, put him in a chokehold. The one thing I'm going to get out of this, because people are trying to blame CM Punk for this one and saying he's a cancer, like they've been trying to say for the last year and a half. And as a CM Punk fan, I'm going to put this in perspective as what everyone should be doing. And I'm not trying to go favoritism here. But the day before, CM Punk was, when he got to the building, or when he got off the airport, no one was there to greet him. And he tried calling the people there. He ended up taking a train. The fans had to help him get to his hotel room. And one of the travel agency people got caught liking a tweet of someone saying something bad about Punk. And, well, he is associated with the Young Bucks, so of course he changes his back profile picture and unlikes all those tweets. Bro, we know you did it. If you guys are on Twitter, you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, let me know in the comments down below. But right there, that proves one thing. That proves one thing, that favoritism, especially when it comes to travel agencies, that's disrespect at its finest. Because CM Punk, regardless of what you want to say, CM Punk is one of their biggest stars in there. Regardless of what you want to say. He was one of the biggest stars when he got there. He was one of the biggest stars when he got suspended. He's one of the biggest stars now. He is one of the biggest stars, or the biggest star there. You can't tell me otherwise. And people on the internet want to sit there and blame Punk for this. When, Punk, when this whole thing with Hangman and him started, Hangman started it because Hangman thought that CM Punk was the reason Colt Cabana was no longer on TV or whatever. And Tony Khan and all them said that that's not true. Hangman did not believe it and instigated it, and Punk was the one who retaliated. So, yeah, Punk is the one who retaliated, but he ain't the one who started it. Hangman was. And when CM Punk, and we've all seen the history of CM Punk has a problem with somebody, he's gonna address it. He did it in WWE, and guess what? That stuff didn't come out later out when he left, but when he did, everyone, was giving him props for it. But suddenly now with AEW, it's a problem. No, it's not a problem. The problem is that you got people there that act like children, that act like freaking, they think they can just do whatever they want because their owner ain't gonna do nothing, And the whole thing with Hangman, he really should have just let it go, because you can't have your best friends everywhere with you, and there's a reason why. And you wonder, and people, and Hangman wants to sit there and complain Punk about Colt Cabana when Colt Cabana's not even that fucking good anyway. He's not even that good. Like, come on now, let's be for real now. Like, half the people that have a problem with Punk are never there, or they've done nothing for wrestling. Like Ryan Nemeth, what the fuck has he done? Brandon Cutler, what the fuck has he done? Colt Cabana, what the fuck has he done? I'm giving the Elite a pass here because they have obviously done something in wrestling. They're obviously stars. But you can't have your best friends with you all the fucking time. And that's starting to become a thing with AEW, where if you're friends with the Young Bucks or whatever, you're getting a fucking job there. So, like, come on now. And with the All Out situation from last year, Punk addressed it in front of the media. Because someone asked him about Colt Cabana, which CM Punk should not... He shouldn't even be talking about him and Colt Cabana in 2022. Like he said. And then guess what? They went in the locker room and they had a fight. Everyone has fights in the locker room. That's none of our business. But if it's addressed out to the media, of course, we have every right to say something. But, like I said, Hangman started that one. Punk, it's like when a bully goes after, like, when a bully's bullying someone, and the kid that's getting bullied retaliates, the one that retaliates is the one getting in trouble. That's pretty much how it is at that point. And then when out with Jungle Boy, they warned him. Tony Schiavone, medical staff, CM Punk, all warned him about not using it. And guess what? He whined about it and did it anyway, and he even told people that he was going to do it before. People even knew that he was going to say that on their biggest show. So why the fuck would you say that on the biggest day of AEW's history? Just so you know you're going to get in a fight backstage afterwards. And like I said, Jungle Boy instigated it. Punk's the one who retaliated there. Punk, he shouldn't have retaliated, but since he's came back, he's been trying to make a better locker room for Collision, or try to make a better locker room for overall everyone else. Why do you think everyone's getting kicked off fucking Collision? Because half the people either, one, are friends with the Young Bucks and don't want, AEW to change or whatever, or they have no respect for the fucking business. I'm sorry. And Jungle Boy, ever since he's been getting pushed as the main star, it seems like he's been getting fucking attitude issues since then. Because you never got reports about Jungle Boy having problems when he was a Luchasaurus. But the minute he went singles and started getting the starship and everything, suddenly he's gotten in the suddenly he's acting like he's fucking Shawn Michaels or some shit. No, that's not what we're doing here. And I'm not backstage. None of us are backstage. None of us know what's going on. I'm just going based on what we're hearing and what I feel like is happening. I could be wrong. He, could be a real nice guy backstage. Who knows? But when you're not listening to veterans about certain things, and you do that, yeah, you're being disrespectful to the business. You're being disrespectful to the company. You're being disrespectful to everyone and anyone that has worked for the business and tried to help. So, all for that, Jungle Boy. And I like him as a performer, but, like, come on. And Punk's it's not just one guy's fault. You have to look at everyone. But people keep moving that goalpost on everything. But, and pretty much that almost ruined the whole show, because that's what everyone wanted to talk about afterwards. And people want to sit there and say that CM Punk is a drama queen and all that, and attention or whatever, when you guys are legit the ones giving him the attention. So, I don't know what you want me to get at with that one. But, we're going to keep going on. That was a little rant about the whole CM Punk situation, because I think it's bullshit. And by the way, neither one of them I don't think are suspended, so we're not gonna have to worry about nothing. And if you can have your dumbass opinion about CM Punk or whatever, but you also gotta realize he ain't the only problem here. So, Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke Takeshita versus the Golden Elite. That match I thought was really, really good. Chaos everywhere. There was legit chaos everywhere, it feels like. And I'm going to talk about every single one of these guys here, because Hangman, when I heard Hangman's theme hit Wembley, that shit felt different, man. Since, we're going to go back to since the All Out situation, I am starting to like Hangman more. And, with his rivalry with Moxley, to the Elite stuff, and Hangman, when I heard his theme, it just felt different, man. Kenny came out, Kota Ibushi came out, And Kenny, you expect a good match from Kenny all the time. So, Kota Ibushi, people, when I watched it the first time, people, it felt about the same when he came back for Blood and Guts. But this match, you could tell he had still some rust on him, because he was injured. But you could tell he could still go. And I think the main thing is, I think, in my opinion, I think he needs to stay away from New Japan and come and work for the U.S., whether it's AEW, Impact, wherever, I think he needs to go to a company that is not New Japan, because you could tell New Japan stars, a lot of the older guys, they're getting beat the fuck up. Their bodies are already kicking in. Like Tanahashi, that man's knees get fucking blown out like 2 seconds in every match. And if Kota Ibushi, I think if he wants to keep going, he needs to work somewhere else in Japan. The match overall, I thought it was a really, really good match. Takeshita beat Kenny, which is led to a match at All Out next Sunday. So I'm gonna be hyped for that one as well. Next match, FTR versus the Young Bucks. The match was very slow to start. The crowd reactions weren't there as much. It felt like during the first 2 matches they were there, but like after that it was like, where'd the crowd go? But after, during the match they were getting the crowd, the match was going on, and the match I thought was really, really good. And I think this is the first Young Buck match that I have seen starts that slow in my life and actually go well and all that, because everyone likes to complain about how fast they go and they don't build up to their spots. They just go, which, yes, that is an issue, but hell, when you build a story up like that, when you build up to your spots like that, that match just feels even more and more special in my eyes. And of course, Cash Wheeler doing a fucking 360 flip or whatever. That I did not know he could do that, if I'm being honest with you. The Young Bucks super kicked him, and of course Excalibur said this is gonna be like Full Gear 2020. Boom, kicks out. And the V triggers to Cash Wheeler. Boom, kicks out. And then the ending of the match with the Shatter Machine reversal, that was amazing. And then FTR ends up with the win. After the match, FTR went to go shake their hand, and, well, they just blew him off. The match I thought was awesome. You can't tell me you can't see a better matchup than that. It's going to be going down as one of the best tag team matches this year, I think. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos have a run for their money as well. But that match was awesome. And I bet you they're gonna. I bet the Young Bucks are gonna turn heel. I have a real feeling that they're gonna turn heel. That you could sense it every week. And I also think they work better as heels because of how many people actually don't like them. But that's just my opinion. The Stadium Stampede. Where do you want me to start with that? Holy cow. It was chaos upon chaos upon chaos upon chaos. There was just chaos everywhere. The match, when it came to hardcore style, that show was absolutely amazing. Eddie Kingston, he legit, in a Patrick Ewing jersey in Wembley, going crazy, badass stuff right there already. Orange Cassidy looked like he came out of a fucking horror movie after the match. He looked like he fucking went through hell and back, which he did. We got some Sue cookies thrown at him. Penta went from black to red. The dark side of Penta. I was so confused when that happened. And like I said, I don't really know where to start. The match was just fucking insane everywhere. And then the skewer little stick things to Moxley's head was nasty as shit. And of course you're gonna hear people complain about it, but that was absolutely disgusting. But man, you want to talk about hardcore wrestling? That was some hardcore shit right there. Best Friends and Eddie Kingston did win though. And then there's gonna be a match between Orange Cassidy and Penta. Winner will face Jon Moxley at All Out. So that's gonna be fun to watch. Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, and Saraya. I think this was probably the worst match on the card when it overall comes to how good they were. This match, for the time they got, I think was alright. I just feel like the match wasn't that long. It was only 8-minute match for a fatal 4-way. I don't feel like that's enough time to build up the match. But you got some storytelling in there between Toni Storm and Toni Storm and Saraya, with Toni Storm accidentally hitting Saraya's mom, to Toni Storm gonna do the hip attack to Saraya on the turnbuckle, with the turnbuckle exposed. And not gonna lie, if you're gonna get hit with a freaking hip attack, you better get fucking ready. That shit fucking looks painful. And then Ruby Soho came in, warned her about her neck. She hit Ruby Soho. The storytelling between them three overall I thought was pretty good. Saraya ended up winning with spraying Toni Storm's face and hitting her with her finisher, and boom, 1, 2, 3. Saraya is the new AEW Women's Champion. And I can already see people complain. And the thing is, when she came to AEW, you could tell, you should have known that she was going to become world champion. You should have known that she was going to become world champion at some point. It's just a matter of when. And while she is now, I don't know how long this reign's going to be. Probably, I was thinking maybe a traditional champion. I don't know. But we're definitely going to get Toni Storm and Saraya down the future. I bet you that. But overall in the match, I just thought it was very short. But the time they were given, I thought they did well. Swerve and Christian Cage versus Sting and Darby. Another match I thought was alright. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. I just thought it was decent. I don't really know what to say about the match besides it was decent, alright. Sting I thought looked good. Darby everyone looked good. Swerve, his theme song got me vibing every time. Whenever Prince Nana's dancing, that's me. Prince Nana. If Prince Nana ever leaves Swerve, I will be heartbroken in many ways. But the match overall I thought was decent, but they need to have a rerun because Swerve's hair was outside of the casket, so obviously you need to do a rerun there. Overall, I thought the match was alright. there was times where I thought Sting was gonna get put in that casket, and I was like, "Is that could be like the retirement of Sting? Maybe I don't know." But match that still is alright. House of Black versus the Acclaimed, and you guys know a couple weeks ago when I reviewed them the last time they faced. I said I didn't enjoy their first two matches. And I said I don't know if it's just they don't work well together or what. This match was their best one out of all of them, if we're being honest here. This match was their best overall match that they have had together. And Brody King, man, and I was sitting there, I was watching, and every time when I'm watching a trios match, I always think who's always the main star, like who can be a main star. When I look at House of Black, I think they all could be main event guys. And I'm being serious. They could be main event talent. Especially Brody King. He is so talented in so many fucking ways. It's legit unreal. And Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, they're talented too. So, it's crazy shit there. But when it comes to overall, just who's main event guys, I think they're all main event guys. The fucking dive from Brody King outside was fucking insane, and then of course the Sesame Timbers on to Julia Hart, and I'm like, they need to fucking do that to Rhea Ripley. Come on now, someone do it to Rhea. But that match, I thought that was their best match. Acclaimed are the new champions. And they had the biggest scissor party of all time. It was a fun match. Now we get to Jericho versus Will Ospreay. The match everyone said it was gonna be terrible, but they ended up putting on a fucking banger. And when this match got announced, I was like, okay, we're definitely getting something good here. And people said there's not gonna be nothing good. Y'all gotta realize, Will Ospreay has dealt with guys that are older, going through the changes of wrestling in Japan. He goes through it all. He went through it. He goes through it with Tanahashi and whoever. So when he got put up with Jericho, it's like, okay, he's gonna be fine. He's just gonna, he's gonna be fine. And the match I thought was really well. It's going well too. I think Jericho still got something left in him. I know a couple months ago I was saying, does Jericho have enough left? Did he have enough left? After what I seen at Wembley, he has what it takes to stay for a little longer. The suplex to Will Ospreay on the freaking outside part of the ring was nasty. That was probably the best spot of the match. Will Ospreay, of course, he won. He beat Jericho. Jericho, after the match, shoved Sammy out of the way and went backstage. And this could be the officially in retirement so-called tour for Chris Jericho, maybe? I really don't know. It's gotta be going towards something, we can tell, but we're obviously getting something good here coming with this. The main event, Adam Cole, MJF. And I was very nervous going into this match because I thought Adam Cole was going to turn. Started off with them two going right at it. Or they weren't going at it, they were trying to they started off really slow with them two just, every time they lock up they go away. And of course MJF doing his scumbag tactics and pretty much just doing MJF things. Adam Cole, of course, he did his part of doing heel tactic things. As the match went going on, though, you could tell Adam Cole was getting very frustrated when when it came to that title. And during that whole thing, I was just waiting for him to turn. But going right back at the match, they had a double clothesline spot where they went to 3, and I thought that's how the match was gonna end. And I'm like, if that is how the match is gonna end, how are you, like, I was freaking out. Like, I was like, there ain't no way that they're about to end this match with a draw. In the biggest match of AEW's history, the biggest show in AEW's history, you're about to do that bullshit. Spoiler alert, they didn't. And the match ended up going on for a little bit. And I said there was times when Adam Cole was gonna turn on MJF. There was a spot where the referee took a Panama Sunrise. Roger Strong came in, low blowed MJF, and he did it again. Finishing move, and we looked like we were gonna get a new champion. MJF kicks out. MJF, of course, wins off a roll up, and MJF is like, we still all love you. Kind of like what Adam Cole said to MJF when they lost the tag match. And, of course, Adam Cole was so pissed off that, well, MJF seen that it was all about the title and went off on him. And he threw the title at him, says, here, have it, and get it over with. And pretty much hit him. So, he hit him. He didn't hit him. He almost hit him. Almost got it over with. But overall, the match, I thought, was amazing. So, we're going to get right back into it. And MJF did not turn. Adam Cole did not turn. And it was a wonderful story. And overall, All In, I thought it was a very, very good show. I'm still telling you right now, Adam Cole's going to turn heel. He's going to turn on MJF, and it's going to be a heartbreak of the century. So, yeah. That's all I got for y'all today. Have a good day.